Hi guys, this is Yash from Team O from Possible, and I'm here to give you a demo of our Android application, NUS Sports Update. So the whole motivation behind this project is the lack of real-time organized information regarding sports events that happen on campus. Our app also seeks to eliminate the use of questionably safe Google Forms and other unofficial modes of registration that may be missed by students who are actually interested in participating in these tournaments. Apart from this, the user-friendliness of the app simplifies the job of organizers. Initially, I'd like to add that there are 4 kinds of users that can use this app. The first kind of user is the user that belongs to the executive committee of any tournament. He or she can add a tournament, delete a tournament, or edit a tournament. The second kind of user that can use this app is an organizing committee member who can add sports, remove sports. He can also add fixtures, remove fixtures. Furthermore, he can also accept or deny requests by other participants to either join the organizing committee or to participate in any particular sport. The third type of user that can access or make use of this app is a participant. He or she can view scores and fixtures. They can also request to participate as in a sport, or they can also request to be a part of the organizing committee. And finally, the fourth user is just a spectator who can view scores and fixtures. So let's get started with the app demo. Initially, I just like to point out that we have already created 2 kinds of users. One for the organizer user, which is basically a user that's part of the organizing committee as a whole, and this one is a user which is part of the executive committee. He or she can add, delete, or edit tournaments, and organizer users can, like I mentioned before, they can add or remove fixtures and accept or deny user requests. So let's just log in to this email ID. Once I've done that, as you can see, there is a button to create tournaments. I'll go ahead and create a tournament. I can choose the sports that I want this tournament to feature. Once I click create tournament, a tournament has been added into the Firebase database, and if I click on IFG, it displays all the sports that this tournament features. Clicking on this edit button takes me to an edit tournament activity, where I can choose to change the name of the tournament or to add or to remove sports from this tournament. Let's say I want to remove dodgeball, chess, and ultimate frisbee. Once I click save changes, the change has been made in the database, and if I click on IFG, as you can see, the sports have been reduced. Executive committee members can also choose to delete tournaments by clicking on this button and this option in the menu bar. But for now, let's go and try to add more tournaments. I'm going to call this one ISG. I create tournament, and this tournament has been added to the Firebase database. Now let's log out and log in with a participant user account. We need to sign up with the user account, so let's do that. Nothing special, another user has been added into the Firebase database. Now let's look at the features that a user has. If I click on IFG and choose any sport to view, I have 2 options to choose from. I can either view fixtures or scores, or I can choose to request to participate in that particular sport. If I click on view fixtures or scores, it takes me to a fixtures activity which is currently blank because no fixtures have been added to this tournament and to this sport in particular. So if I go back, say I want to take part in this tournament, if I click on this button, a request is sent to the organizing committee members, who can either choose to accept or deny this request. As you can see in the database, this request has been added with the following details: the sport, the tournament ID, the user ID, and the kind of request, that is, whether or not it's a participant request or an organizing committee request. If I go back to the app, multiple requests are not allowed, as you can see right over here. Now, another feature that a user has is that he can send in a request to be a part of the organizing committee of a tournament. If I click on this option in the menu bar, it redirects me to a page which displays all the tournaments that are ongoing right now. So let's say I want to be a part of the IHG organizing committee. A request is sent, as you can see right here. Let's log out and log in with the account of the organizer user. Once I've logged in, I can click on IHG, and by clicking here, I can access the requests that have been sent for this tournament. Over here, as you can see, dummy users' request to be a part of organizing committee of IHG is sent. Let's say I accept this request. So no matter what I do, accept or deny, the request will be deleted from the Firebase database. Now let's go back and see if this change has been reflected in dummy user's account. If I click on IHG, as you can see right here, this menu bar is added because he is now part of the organizing committee of IHG. If I click on this and access requests, since there are no requests for IHG, the page is blank. So let's go back. Now let's just dive into the features that organizer users can have apart from accepting or denying user requests. So let's go to soccer. An important thing to note is that since he is a part of the organizing committee, he cannot request to participate, and so we've just blocked out the option to request to participate over here. So if I click on view fixtures or scores, it takes me to this blank fixtures page, but now you can see there is FAB which I can use to add fixtures. If I click on that, I can just choose the teams and all the other details. Once I click on create fixture, fixture is added and the list view is updated as well. If you want to take a look at the fixtures over here in the database, you can look at all the details. So initially this is the tournament ID, this is the sport name, and this is the fixture ID. If you go in, you can look at the details of this particular fixture, that is date, team 1, team on score, team 2 score, time, and venue. Finally, there is also this ongoing attribute that we've added, which is basically one which we'll use to track live scores. So let's go back and let's try editing this fixture. If I click on this fixture, it takes me back to this page where I can update this fixture. If I just choose the particulars again, let's say I change the date to the 20th of August, and let's change the time to 11:30. And the venue to, let's say, PGP codes. So I've done that. I can also choose to make this a live event by clicking on this and editing the scores. Let's say it's 3 goals to 2 in favor of Engine. Once I've done that, I can click update fixture, and as you can see, all the required changes have been made. Also, the score is now displayed. I can also choose to delete this fixture by clicking on this and choosing this option in the menu bar. If I click on that, it asks me for confirmation, and once I click on yes, this fixture is deleted. So let's just try one more thing. I'm going to create a fixture. I'm just going to plug in random values, all the dummy values right now. And a dummy venue for now. I can create this fixture, and this fixture is successfully added. Now let's try and delete this entire tournament, that is IHG. If I log out, and I need to log in with this particular account. And once I've done that, I can click on IHG. And 1 second, I can just delete this tournament by clicking on this. Yes, and as you can see, this tournament has been deleted, and so has the fixture, if you noticed. Furthermore, I can also delete IFG, and once I do this, even these requests, this request will be deleted from the database. Let's try that out as well. There you go. The tournament has been deleted, and so have the requests. And one final thing that I'd like to show is what happens when participant request is accepted by an organizer user. As you can see over here under requests, there is a participant request for this user ID to take part for soccer. So let's go to the app and log in with the organizer user account. Once I have done that, I can go to IFG, access requests, and as you can see, this request is sent over here for soccer. I will click accept, and let's see if this change has been reflected under the participant account. If I go to IFG and click on soccer, you can notice that there is a new button added called locker room, and the previous button request to participate is now gone since the request has been accepted. So locker room is basically our chat room for all the participants of the sport, which we haven't really implemented. We will be focusing on its implementation for Milestone 3 along with push notifications. So if I click on this, as of now it only says selected locker room. So this is basically a feature which is still pending implementation. So this is the final thing that I wanted to show you guys, and well, that is the end of the demo, and I really hope you enjoy our app. Thank you.